travel friends, and welcome to another edition of Spotlight on Travel. My name is Kerry and I have been a travel agent for over 30 years. Today we're going to talk a little bit about different room types or categories that you can run into when you're booking a tropical vacation. Now, first of all, we should just touch on the room occupancies that resorts and hotels expect. So, for example, there is single, double, triple, and quadruple occupancies are all super common, and it makes sense that each occupancy means that's the number of people that you are allowed to have in that room. So if you book a single occupancy room, that's a room for one person. Double occupancy, 2 people, triple, 3 people, quadruple, 4 people, maximum occupancy in that room. Now you'll find that a lot of times different bedding configurations can match the occupancies. So for example, a single room might have 1 bed. It could have 2, and you likely won't know until you get there. A double room could have 1 queen bed or 2 queen beds or 2 single beds. A triple will usually have separate sleeping areas for everyone, so they might have a queen size bed and then a double sofa bed. And a quadruple will typically have 2 queen size beds and sometimes offer up a sofa bed or the ability to have a cot. These are all things you need to check when you're booking your particular room. But it's a good idea to not book let's say for example, a double room and try and squeeze 4 people into that double occupancy room, because you're not paying for those 4 people. So it's not very ethical to do that. But also you will find that the room is set up for 2 people. So you might have 2 large bath towels, 2 face cloths, 2 hand towels, and that's not going to be enough comfortably for 4 people. So I don't recommend doing that. The price difference usually isn't very much. So it's best just to be honest and book the room for the amount of people that you plan to have in it. Now, I'd also like to touch today on different room types. So again, we're going to focus on tropical vacations since we're going to be traveling again soon. So let's take, for example, you're looking at a beautiful sunny holiday and there's all these different room categories that you get to choose from. Usually the lowest price is one called a tropical view or garden view room. These rooms typically look at the gardens, the lush landscape that you'll find when you're in southern climates. Now, the only thing with these room categories, because they are a lead-in category, which is travel industry speak for lowest price, usually their view is not spectacular. So you have the possibility of having a view of the septic system, or perhaps the garbage dumpsters or the parking lot, all of which are usually tucked in behind garden or foliage. So just use caution when you book a tropical or garden view room, that you're prepared for the fact that it might not just be a bunch of hydrangeas and frangipanis that you're looking at. It might be cement walls, all those sorts of things. So just keep that in mind when you're booking. Next up is usually an ocean view room. Now, this is where people get a little tripped up. Ocean view means you can view the ocean from your room. So that doesn't mean that you're going to be sitting on your balcony with the great blue sea in front of you. No, it means that if you're on your balcony, you might have to stretch your neck and turn a little funny way, and you might be able to see the ocean if you really stretch. If you can see the ocean from your balcony, then it's an ocean view room. So again, if you're expecting some fabulous scenery while sitting on your balcony sipping on a margarita, maybe don't have the ocean view room unless you want to check and see where they're located. What you might want is what's called an ocean front room. Now, an ocean front room means that you are facing the ocean. So again, a little tricky, because you can be facing the ocean in an ocean front room, but perhaps there's really tall palm trees growing right in front of your balcony, and it's really still hard to see the ocean. So what I highly recommend is that you work with a travel professional, of course, or call the hotel directly and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Which room category would best suit my needs? Again, if you're working with a travel professional, they'll take care of that for you. But there are so many different room types and considerations that it's really important that you deal directly with the hotel when trying to discover which room category you want, or look online and see suggestions from other travelers. But your professional travel agent will help you with that as well. Another type of room then is beachfront. Now beachfront means you're on the beach. It means you walk out of your room and there's sand or a small path to the sand and the beach is directly in front of you. So that of course is a very lovely room type, and you can imagine that all these room types just keep getting more expensive the closer you are to the ocean. So you're going to be paying more for a beachfront room compared to an ocean view room. Now, another type of room that has really gained popularity in the past few years is what's called a swim up or swim out room category. Now, these rooms are always on a bottom floor, unless you're in a hotel that has swim out capabilities on all floors, which exist and they're fabulous. But typically in a resort, a swim out or swim up room is on the ground level, and you can either step from your patio into a pool, or you cross a little bit of grass, or you go along a small short path to hop into the pool. So these rooms are great for people who really want a ground floor room. It's best to pay for a swim up or swim out room because, again, unless you're in a resort where there's pools on each level, you are going to be guaranteed a ground floor if you get this room category. So again, best to work with someone who is familiar with the resorts and can help guide you so that you receive the room category that you want, and also be very specific when you're talking to your travel agent in spelling out exactly what it is that you want. So if you want to be able to sit on your balcony with a beverage or getting room service, and you want to be able to see the ocean or hear the surf when you go to sleep, please let your travel consultant know that so that we can best work with you to find that beautiful room, because nobody wants to have you be disappointed when you arrive at your resort and find out that your oceanfront room is oceanfront, but from a kilometer back in the resort. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us. And for Shaw Spotlight, I'm Kerry Berlinquette.